Hello, good morning. Today I thought I would just do a little video with another infused honey, and I wanted to do garlic and ginger, especially when we're coming up to winter time, but it's good to use on a daily basis garlic and ginger anyway, but particularly when we go into these flu and cold seasons. I wanted to go to my book and read what garlic says because there's just so much, but I enjoy using this particular book because it's very easy to digest, because I've got other herbal books, medical herbal books, and they're very quite hard to digest, quite complex, and this is why I really refer to this one every now and again if I want to remember what this particular herb does. So I'll go ahead and just talk about your common garlic. So garlic, the actions are antiviral, antimicrobial, antifungal, antioxidant, hypotensive. So indications: colds, flu, coughs, bronchitis, gastric infections, high blood pressure and cholesterol. It also thins the blood, so people on blood thinning medication, yes, it's okay to have garlic, but if you were going to consume a lot of it, you would need to speak to your healthcare provider just to make sure that it's not going to thin your blood too much. So the smell of garlic comes from its content of sulphur-rich compounds, which are largely extracted through the lungs, giving the characteristic garlic breath after eating it. These sulphur compounds are highly antimicrobial and therefore act as a powerful healers in respiratory infections. Garlic has potent antioxidant properties when taken regularly. It has been shown to lower cholesterol and protect blood vessel walls, reducing the risk of hardening of the arteries and heart disease. The best way to use garlic is daily in food. It is most potent when used raw. The sulphur compounds, particularly allicin in garlic, are released after the membranes of the bulbs are damaged, so crush cloves 5 minutes before use to allow these compounds to develop. Aim to have 1 to 2 cloves a day. Chewing parsley or drinking milk after eating garlic can help reduce garlic breath. That's very interesting. I thought garlic is a very powerful medicinal plant. The root bulb, it's amazing, very powerful. So if I can find my ginger actions, oh yes, so your common ginger. So the actions are anti-emetic, carminative, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, circulatory stimulant, expectorant. Indications: colds, flu, sinus infections, poor circulation, arthritis, colic, nausea, diarrhea, weak digestion, painful periods. So ginger is the best herbal remedy for nausea and sickness. A simple infusion sipped in small amounts throughout the day can lessen the nauseating effects of motion sickness, morning sickness and gastric upsets. Its antimicrobial effects also help kill off diarrhea and sickness-causing bacteria. Ginger strengthens and stimulates those with a weak digestion, especially on convalescents and the elderly. Particularly, ginger is a warming herb, lending its healing qualities to cold conditions in colds, flu and sinus infections. It aids in the clearance of phlegm and induces sweating to clear a fever. It stimulates the circulation, improving the supply of blood to the extremities, warming cold hands, feet and arthritic conditions. Use it internally as a tea or externally as an infused oil, but you can use it in other ways. You can make ginger cordials, ginger beer, not the alcoholic, but the soft drink, very sugary. You can make little candy sweets with it, or you can do what I'm going to do. So I've got my clean jar. It's just going to be a small jar today again, and I wanted to use this combination because they go very well together and they enhance each other's properties as well, so they work in synergy. And with this, if you don't mind, I like the garlicky taste. You can take a spoonful, you could add it into porridge, you could add it into warm water. So if you're having a tea, you can put it on toast, you can have it any way you want. So I'll go ahead. I wanted to show you yesterday's one. So sometimes you'll find with your honey, it can be quite tricky to move. So what I sometimes do, if I find this, I fill up the sink with warm water and I sort of just hold it in the water and just allow the gentle warmth to warm the honey, and then I'll move it up and down. But as time goes by, because of the water's been extracted as well, you'll find that it does loosen off. And yesterday I did add a little bit more herbs, but not too much. So you can see there's like that much. So that's going to give it a nice amount of room so the honey can, you know, infuse through. So when it's first thing in the morning, it's very cold. As the day warms up, you'll notice it's easier to work with. So it is just gently moving it up and down. I did say shake in my video yesterday, but I meant, you know, just turning it, and you'll see the air bubbles. You'll notice when you work with ginger that does get quite watery. It's a great herb to work with, and I've seen myself infusing the ginger for 6 weeks. And when I drain, I wanted to mention this yesterday, I usually do it, you're better with a drainer. So you would get your basin and your bowl, and you might want to gently warm it up again just before. You're not want to heat it because that's going to kill things off, but gently warming is okay. And then you would pour it through the fizz, and then you would just, you know, spread it out and then allow it to just drain out. And like I says, I don't just throw that away. I'll put it in a pot with water, hot water from the kettle, and then I might add some other herbs to it and then drink that. So I don't waste, because you've got all that honey, and you've got all that honey that's in your herb, and it's a shame to just throw that away. So I'll go ahead and do this. I'll turn this down. So I've got quite a bit of honey over here. I've got quite a bit of garlic and quite a bit of ginger. I'm not going to use it all. So with the ginger, just scraping it with a spoon is a great way to just get the ginger skin off. It's very wet, which is great. It's not dry, it's fresh. And I would infuse this up to 4 weeks. You can use it beforehand. And I also wanted to say about the honey, not everybody can get a raw honey. So even though there's a lot of therapeutic properties within the raw honey because it's not been heat treated, if that's all you've got is shop bought, just use that, because I don't want you to miss out on experimenting and making your own natural medicine. And it's good to do these things now, because it takes time, and this is gonna, you know, you're gonna have a nice storage supply of your honeys. But time it, so because I'm using fresh, the lifespan is only about 6 months. So you want to time it. And if you're using the dried form, you are going to get double that, so you'll be getting about a year, and that is because of the water content that is within fresh. And when it's dry, all that water has been extracted. So I'll make sure I get all the skin off. If there's a tiniest little bit, that won't matter too much. So far I'm going to use about this, and I'm just going to slice it. It's not too thick, not too thin. So let's see, so far the garlic, I've got the bulb, I'm just gonna give it a hit. And I will squash it just to get the juices going. So, and I will peel this. So it is bruised, like it's the juices. There we go. So you can see there. So because it's burst open, I don't need to chop it. You can get garlic that are quite big, but these pieces are not so big. So there we go. I love the smell. And you'll notice when your infusion's done, you'll see garlic how it changes, but there's no moisture in it. It's quite interesting to look at. So you're wanting to get as fresh as possible, not adding any bits that are damaged. Like sometimes I've bought garlic and some bits have been okay, some bits have been dry, some bits have had little dark parts on it, so I wouldn't use those. So you're wanting it nice and healthy. And this is going to be a powerful concoction for you. So far I've got that. I might add the whole of that bulb. So I've got a couple more bits. And this will be really nice and strong. You can infuse pretty much any herbs, spices. So I've got the honey, the raw honey, and I'm going to pour it in here. Allow it to seep in at the bottom. Give that a stir. And I will clean the rim with a clean cloth, just so it doesn't attract insects, because I've got the honey over the rim in the jar, so I will make sure that is nice and clean. And I will seal it and label it and date it, and I'll put what's in it, you know, like the garlic and the ginger with the honey and when I made it, so that way I know. So that's it there, but I'll not put the lid on it just yet, so I'm going to clean it. So I've made the attempt to try and get the air bubbles sort of out. That just takes a wee bit of time. You will find that, you know, when you are working with it every day, you will see air bubbles in it, and that's okay. If you want to, every maybe week, you can go in with a clean long instrument, a little chopstick, or I've used this knife, and you can just give it a stir if you feel. So, and I'll give this 4 weeks. If I was desperate and needed to use it, I would. So it's up to you if you need to use it beforehand, or you could have a couple on the go. and keep one, you know, don't touch it for 4 weeks, and then the other one, if you need to use it in a week's time or 2 weeks time, that's okay. Do what you need and then put it back. So I hope you found that useful, and I encourage you to experiment, because I think it's just wonderful being able to make and create your own concoctions. Experiment, read a wee bit about herbs and what works well together, or use your intuition and see, you know, ask yourself, what am I needing, what does my family need, and see what you're drawn to and work with that. Okay, so I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again. Take care, bye.